Your best friend is about to be hanged in a foreign prison. The only way to save him is you have to give up your freedom. Would you do that? In today's episode, we'll explore the film Return to Paradise, which actually makes us look at the notions of justice, morality, loyalty in a very brutal way. Sheriff Tony and Lewis, three Americans on an adventure trip to Malaysia. Sun, beach, party, and of course, yes, they partied hard. They did drugs also. Was it a carefree mistake? Or so they thought. Sheriff and Tony move on. They leave Malaysia without a second thought. Beth, a lawyer, tracks Sheriff and Tony down to give them a shocking news. And the news was Lewis was about to be hanged in Malaysia in a matter of 8 days. Now the question was how to save Lewis. Beth tells them there's only one way to save Lewis. That is, these both have to go back. That is, Tony and Sheriff have to go back and give themselves up. Why? Because all the three did drugs. And Tony and Lewis knew they were not innocent. But only problem was only Lewis was caught. So now Tony and Sheriff had this ethical dilemma. Should they go back and be true friends? Or should they be ethical egoists and be little self-interested and carry on with their lives? In the face of this ethical dilemma, Sheriff and Tony are wondering what is to be done. Sheriff was more practical. He wanted to continue with his life, while Tony was a little conflicted because he wanted to help. Now, the larger question is, in such a situation of dilemma, knowing fully well your friend is about to be hanged for the crimes that all the three of you committed, who should take the moral responsibility? Or should you take the responsibility at all? Let's break down the option here that Tony and Sheriff have. Option 1, do nothing. Since Tony and Sheriff have a life here and it was Lewis who was caught, do nothing. And by doing nothing, Lewis gets hanged, but Tony and Sheriff will have to live with the guilt of doing nothing. Option 2, both of them go back, turn themselves in and serve 3 years each. Be a true loyal friend. Option 3, one of them goes back, either it can be Tony or Sheriff, and serves 6 years of sentence. Ethically speaking, Tony and Sheriff were confronted with 3 value choices. First one, loyalty, which demanded them to go back and be a true friend. Justice. Lewis was the one who was caught. They escaped, so they don't owe anything to Lewis. Third one, self-preservation. They have a life here. There's nothing wrong in going on with a life. And here's the question no one wants to ask. Would Lewis would have gone back for them? This is not a movie plot. It's a real ethical test. It was not Sheriff and Tony alone who were confronted with the ethical dilemma. In this movie, there's a journalist. She found out about the case and she wanted to write about it. But the only issue she had was if she writes about what is happening in Malaysia, what's happening to Lewis, that may bring negative international attention on Malaysia. And that negative international attention may jeopardize Lewis's deal. Now she had own ethical dilemma to face, to publish or not to publish. What matters most, life or justice? In fact, if she stays silent, how many others like Lewis will suffer the same fate? Now it's ethics time. Now it's your turn. What would you do? Will you go back and be a true friend or will you be a pure ethical egoist and stay back and go on with your life, but live with the guilt of you letting the friend down? Do let me know your thoughts in the comments section. So long, happy learning.